Hi, and welcome to Yairn. This is my creative roundup of everything I've made this month. My name is Fiona, and I am a designer living in the Scottish Highlands. I love to knit, crochet, sew, and spin. So let's take a look at what I've done. If you've seen my videos before, you've heard about this project already. This is my Roma Knits cardigan. My Mochi Knits cardigan. It's called the Roma Cardigan. And here she is. So I'm making quite a good amount of progress, not as quickly as I would have hoped because it's been on the needles now for like 6 months or something, so quite a long time. And I've known plenty of folks who have started and completed many projects within that time. So, but I'm trying not to give myself too hard of a time, and I'm trying to pick it up as and when I have a moment. But with Christmas right around the corner, and being now almost 8 months pregnant, it has been kind of a slow burn. But with all that said, I'm very happy to report that I am finally on the ribbing at the bottom of the cardigan. So there's a little image of that, how that's going. I have about, I need to double that basically. So I'm about halfway done with the ribbing. Once the ribbing is complete, then I go into the sleeves and then the button band. So there's still a good amount of work to be done, but I think the sleeves and the button band might go a little bit faster once I get there. And I did get sent a pretty cool video the other day of a unique way to create sleeves where you actually put it on two circular sets of needles and you're able to knit both sleeves at the same time. And I think that could be a really interesting way to do it and kind of make me feel really motivated and like, seeing the two sleeves grow at the same time. I think that could be really lovely. One other quick note, I decided on this length based on another sweater that I already own that I really like. So I just measured from the shoulder seam down to where the ribbing began and then decided to create that exact same proportion with this particular sweater. So that is where I'm at with this one. I'm going to keep plodding along. And yeah, I think it will one day be a sweater. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll have it finished for Christmas, which was my goal. There's just too many other projects coming up and presents that I'm making and things that will kind of put a little hindrance on this one. But other than that, I still really love the yarn. I'm still really excited about, what this is going to become in the end. So looking forward to that. Speaking about Christmas projects, I've got my husband's hat pretty well underway. So I'm going to give that quick spotlight here. So this is a beautiful 4-ply yarn I got from Kincraid Fabrics in Brora, and it's a gorgeous kind of multi-tonal autumnal shade. And I'm very close to being finished with the, whoops, I just dropped a stitch. Got to grab it before it goes away. Okay. Some live action surgery here. Okay. So, yeah, we're good. We're good. Okay. So, yeah, beautiful autumnal shade of 4-ply, 100% wool. And this is basically just the brim, and I know it looks really long, and that's because, as some of you may know who have made the Oslo hat by Petite Knit, the brim gets folded over. So I actually have my really, really beautiful Oslo hat that was made by my mother as a gift for my birthday this year. Just to give you guys an example of how this hat is constructed, since it is kind of an interesting construction. The brim is folded over, and then you have a few centimeters of purl stitch, and what that does, you can see it creates a really clear line for the brim to be folded and have that sit really nicely. So that's the Oslo hat, and then it's got kind of your typical decreases. My mom used a balloon to block this, and I will say it was a bit big when she first gave it to me, but I feel like it's kind of retracted a little bit and it fits me really nicely now. So and this is actually the same wool. This is leftover wool from the Louvre sweater that she made me last year for Christmas. So now I have a matching hat, and I'm really happy about that. So yeah, as you can see, I'm pretty close to the length that I need to create that brim in this color, which I think is going to be really, really nice. My husband has kind of reddish hair, so I think this will be a great color for him. So this one's been going a bit more quickly. It is quite small yarn, but in general, it's been really easy and fun to work up. And I'm pretty confident I'll be able to finish this by Christmas. So next month, hopefully I'll be showing you the finished product. Next up, I have a small crochet project, and this one's really fun because it's a pattern that I came up with on my own and decided to give it a try. So everyone knows the Sophie scarf by Petite Knit. Yeah, I feel like that's come up a lot in this episode. And I didn't want to do that, so I went ahead and just kind of came up with my own pattern, and it's what's called fillet crochet. So that's where you create these kinds of windows to create patterns. And I just did a very simple pattern of a set of 4x3 and 2x3, and just repeated that along. So I'll insert a picture of me wearing this so you guys can get an idea of what it looks like. But I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it's really pretty. I love the color. I wanted something that I could throw on just to have like a pop of color. So it's a really fun pattern, and I'm thinking about making a few more, playing with the repetition and the size of the holes, and then maybe even releasing this as a pattern because it was quick and easy to work up, and I feel like it really does look lovely. So let me know if that's something you're interested in. Earlier this month, I was able to go to the East Neuk Knits at the Bowhouse, which is an event that was put on by a few local knitwear designers and the Bowhouse, including Di Gilpin, who's one of the judges on the Game of Wool, which I know is kind of a controversial new show. I won't give too many opinions here other than I might have done it a little bit differently than they've set it up. And I wish it was a little bit more about techniques and history and kind of the beautiful art of knitting, and not so much a reality show kind of remake or a rethinking of the Bake Off. Like it doesn't feel quite thought through, but that's just my opinion. I love that knitting is getting a little bit of a time to shine, but I also think the show could have been designed better to showcase kind of what the people who are interested in knitting really care about, which I think is craft and quality and, specific yarns and, materials and things that I think it just kind of gets skipped over on the show. I digress. So I went to the East Neuk Knits, and they had an event at the Bowhouse. They also had a lot of really wonderful talks and things. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend any of those, but I was able to go around the market a few times. I think I went around the whole market maybe 4 times, just taking it all in and seeing. There was a number of producers there that I hadn't seen before, which was really exciting. And I did make some purchases. So and these are, I would say, kind of outside of my typical comfort zone in terms of color and things, but it's just what I was feeling that day. I wanted to get kind of funky, so that's what I did. So the first things first is this beautiful mohair Shetland blend, and this is from Anfield Farm, which is a really exciting farm in Fife that has, I think they told me, 66 Angora goats, which I was able to meet a few of the baby ones at the market, and I'll put a photo of that in here. But they're making a mohair blend, which is really exciting, made in the UK. This particular color is called Iron Brew. And I think I just got one skein because my plan is to make some little fingerless gloves with this. I really I have quite a bit of yarn at the moment, so I wasn't looking for a sweater quantity of anything. I just wanted to support this farm and get something from them. So super excited about this. So I'll put a picture of what I'm planning to make with this. And yeah, if you haven't heard of them or haven't checked them out, I highly recommend it. It's absolutely gorgeous yarn, really soft, really fun colors. As you can see, this one is like a tangerine kind of, quite a vibrant orange with a little bit of pink. So excited about that, something different for me. Next up is another very vibrant color. You can see here. This is, so this one's called, okay, it's got a long name. Wow. Highland Summer Meadow Collection, Bird's Foot Trefoil Yellow. So this is a semi-worsted double knitting, 100% wool from Caithness Yarns. And he has a really lovely note on here that says, made from my own happy, healthy Caithness sheep. So from what I know, these are Cheviot sheep. I think he also has some more rare breeds, but it's just very straightforward, semi-worsted double knitting. So nothing too special in terms of the type of yarn, other than it's coming from his own sheep, which is lovely. But I just loved his colors. I thought they were so fun. So I'm not 100% sure what I will make out of these just yet, but I will figure that out. And because I loved his colors so much, I ended up getting a little set for baby. So the plan will be to make something really cute out of these colors together, something like a striped beanie and matching mittens or something like that. I haven't looked into patterns for this yet. I knew these little 30-gram balls would be enough to make just a little tiny newborn project with some really fun colors. So whatever I make, I'll have a little matching moment, which will be very fun for me. The baby will not know the difference, but for me, I will enjoy it. Lastly, and maybe most excitingly, is this kit that I got. So these types of gloves have been really popular lately, and I'm really excited to make them. These are called the White Rose Mittens by a brand called Baltic Knits. So there's the image of them there. I think they're absolutely stunning. I'm so excited about making these. So it's got all of the knitting instructions included. Let's see what I've got here. Oh, okay. Here's the chart. So that's really helpful, handy. This will only be my second ever color working pattern I've ever done. So I'm feeling quite grateful that it's one repeated pattern. I think I'll be able to get that quite easily. I might even do a little test swatch before I start, just to make sure I am doing the right thing. So yeah, that is really exciting. It looks like she's got a lot of really nice clear instructions and diagrams. This is actually the first knitting kit I've ever done as well. So I'm really looking forward to this. So I'll give you a quick glance at the yarn, since I know that's what we're all here for, is looking at gorgeous yarn. Not really, but here is the yarn. I love these colors. She did have a fully completed sample for you to take a look at the festival. And if I can find an image, I'll put that up here as well. But just gorgeous, just stunning. I'm so excited about this. I don't know when I'll be able to complete this, because my plan is, after I get through Christmas projects and make more progress on the Roma cardigan, is to start going back to baby stuff, because I'm due at the beginning of February. So I'm really just going to have January to make a lot of the things I want to make for newborn time. And then I think the early weeks of newborn time will be really chaotic and busy. At least that's what I've heard. So I don't imagine I'll be able to get a whole lot done in that time. Maybe, we'll see. Maybe when they're asleep, if they ever sleep, maybe then I'll get a few things done, but we'll just have to play it by ear. With that said, I have been doing a little bit of baby prep, but more in the sewing category. So this is a funny subject, but I'm going to bring it up here because I feel like it might be helpful to some, soon-to-be parents or people who might be interested in this subject. But I very luckily and gratefully am quite privileged in the fact that I will not have to go straight back to work when I have my first baby. I'll be able to stay home with the baby for quite a while. And sorry, I have really bad allergies at the moment. I'm going to need to blow my nose. Be right back. I am planning to do something called Elimination Communication, which, if you have heard of it, you'll know exactly what I mean, but it is basically the concept of infant potty training. So it's attempting to get the child to get used to the potty and using the potty from day one, we'll say, but really it looks more like 4 to 6 weeks, because you need to really get through those newborn days before you can really start engaging with this type of thing. So the basics of how it works is you are learning your baby's cues, you are learning about when they need to go, and you're offering the potty. So that might be like immediately after they wake up from a nap, or after a feed, or even keeping them on the potty during the feed. There's a little bit of an element of sign language and verbal cues that you kind of learn together. So when they need to go pee, or when you think they need to go pee, you might prompt them by making a sh sound. And then over time, the idea is that babies don't particularly like to be sitting in their own pee and things. So they will start to develop these stronger cues to communicate to you that they would like to be on the potty. And the idea is that you can get them fully potty trained sometime between 12 and 18 months, which sounds ideal to me. And I am planning to use reusable nappies. I am planning to be with the baby, and I'm very fortunate to not have to go back to work immediately. So I will be able to really kind of watch the baby, learn their cues, and hopefully we can do this together as a team. That's the plan anyways. I'm very realistic about it, and I know that as a first-time mom, I'm not going to really know how things are going to go, and that I might have to abandon this plan. It might become too difficult. I'm very fortunate in which I do know a local mom who has done it and has had success and has enjoyed the process. So I am feeling excited to try it. So we will see. Anyways, with all that said, it means that I have been doing a lot of research into what types of reusable nappies and what type of clothing you might need to make this process easier. And one of the things that came up is split crotch pants. So here is the first little pair that I made. And as you can see, the crotch is fully open. It just has a flap that gets folded under. So the idea with these is that they can stay warm. They can keep their trousers on. Sorry, trousers, not pants, trousers. They can keep their trousers on. I can kind of access the nappy while they're wearing them. And the reason I was really interested in these is because I wanted something that I was going to be able to put them in natural fibers and keep them really warm. A lot of the trousers that I've found or been given are cotton. So this was actually made from a sweater that I got from a charity shop. And I used the band that was around the waist to create a new waistband and then new little cuffs. So this was the first pair that I made, and it's quite a nice drapey merino wool. I'm excited about that. So then I moved on to making a few other pairs. This is a very cute little pair made from cashmere. There was a vendor at the Bowhouse market a few months ago that was selling damaged cashmere sweaters for a fair price. So I picked one up and made my second little pair of trousers. These ones are particularly adorable, very soft and fuzzy. And you may be wondering, how am I going to keep these clean? These are going to be needed to be hand washed. Of course, I'm hoping to catch all of their bathroom needs and not need to wash these too much, but I'm also going to be looking into lanolizing them, which is a soak you can do to add some sheep's lanolin to repel any liquid or anything that might might come out of the wee one onto these beautiful little cashmere trousers. So very cute, very sweet. I'm very excited about those, all the berries. And then the last pair that I've made so far is this boiled wool pair. So this is much thicker. This will be for when we're maybe going outdoors. Got the split crotch. I just think they're so cute. Little cuffs at the bottom. And this is in the newborn size. They do look really big to me. So I might even wait until the baby's born to make more of these, because these honestly take 15 minutes to whip up. They are so fast. All I really do is I do a overlocking stitch on all the interior seams. Let me see if there's an easier pair to show that. So in the leg in particular, it's just using my serger to overlock that seam. It's cutting out the waistband. You don't have to do that's the Roma Cardigan there. You don't have to do anything fancy with the crotch, so I think that saves a lot of time. And yeah, they're so easy and fun to whip up. So I'm really excited to make more of these. I've even got another sweater that I've collected to make my next pair. So this is let's see, the tag's been removed. It's a men's sweater that's been clearly washed incorrectly. So it's 100% merino wool, and it's really shrunk. So it's much too small. It'd probably be too small for me, especially in my current state. But it's because it's been felted a little bit, it's the perfect kind of thickness and texture for a pair of trousers. So I will be making another pair, but I might end up making a pair in the size up from the newborn size. But I'm going to think about that one because I do have a very similar color pair here. So maybe don't need two in the same size and the same color. And yeah, so I'm going to be collecting fun sweaters along the way. I got this boiled wool from Veronique's in Elgin, which is a really lovely fabric shop. And she told me that this would be quite difficult to wash. So I'm not sure how much more I will make with this boiled wool, but I just do think it's absolutely gorgeous and adorable. And can't wait to see the little one in this. This one is also unique because I needed to put elastic in the waistband. And I don't know how well that's going to fit until I have the baby and am able to measure their waist and make sure that I'm creating trousers that are comfortable. So that is the latest with my sewing. So I'm looking forward to making more of those. So that's everything I have for this video. If you enjoyed it and want to see more, please subscribe. I hope everyone is having a lovely holiday season, getting ready for whatever celebrations you might have, and enjoying it without too much stress. So, all right, thanks so much. Have a great day.